Let me go across to our panel of guests now. It's Sandeep Shastri, who is the National Coordinator for Lok Niti Network, and also Ramdatt Tripathi, who's a senior journalist. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us on this discussion. Professor Shastri, tell us, how do you see the Rajya Sabha elections play out, sir? I mean, Rajya Sabha elections were not meant to be so, fractious in the past, but clearly they've become a different animal altogether now. Congress managing to keep its flock together in Karnataka, but failing to do the same in Himachal Pradesh. Do you think this is a problem with the candidates or with the central leadership? What is it, sir?
I think it's a combination of factors which plays a role. It's for quite some time now across the country we are noticing that Rajya Sabha elections do not play out as per the strength of various political parties. And it's not uncommon that each time we have a Rajya Sabha election, there is at least one or two states where there is a cliffhanger till the end. And this time we see it in the 3 states where the actual election is happening and not a unanimous vote. Now, coming specifically to Himachal, your reporter very rightly said that there were certain critical local factors, the ignoring of prominent Congress leaders, the bringing in of a candidate who was not from Himachal, and the Congress putting up and the BJP putting up a candidate who is a former congressman. So I think there has been a very clever calculation by the BJP in Himachal, and the result, as indicates, could go either way. Uttar Pradesh is a different issue because Samajwadi Party has had its internal challenges with its own party members and with its allies.
Right.
And Akhilesh, I think, is very clearly taking an insurance policy in what he said when he says that we put up a third candidate just to test how strong our strength was, which for me at least is an indication that they may not come through in that third seat that they are contesting. But I think for quite some time now, Rajya Sabha elections are an indicator of the internal health of parties and alliances. And very often we have noticed a party's strength is not indicated in the results which finally come out. And infighting within a party and its legislators often leads to the defeat of its candidate. Now, this is not likely to have an impact on Lok Sabha elections, but indicates the internal health of political parties in different states.
Right, that's very well said. We also have Sajjan Kumar Singh, academic and political analyst, joining us. But first, Mr. Tripathi, what does this mean for UP's 2024 battle? Because on one hand, you see BSP, having a political meltdown of sorts, many people actually leaving the party, and then you also have at least 7 Sapa MLAs cross-voting. What does this mean for Samajwadi Party or the opposition alliance, in UP ahead of 2024 polls?
This cross-voting simply means that the third candidate of Samajwadi Party, Alok Ranjan, may lose. He is a former chief secretary and he is very close to Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav in planning out strategies and other inputs party requires. As far as Lok Sabha elections are concerned, they are going to be bipolar between NDA alliance and the India alliance, mainly Congress and Samajwadi Party alliance, and the BJP and its allies. And it is going to be quite a tough election because Congress is weak here in Uttar Pradesh. Now, because of Rahul Gandhi, because he is doing a campaign on streets, so there some kind of strength Congress is gaining. But definitely BJP has an upper hand. And as far as this Rajya Sabha election is concerned, Sanjay Seth is a builder, he has money, and he has been formerly associated with the Samajwadi Party. He had connections over there. And BJP also used its political power. So political power combined with money power, that is how they almost got support of 7 MLAs But as we learn,
Right.
two MLAs of Om Prakash Rajbhar party, who is with NDA, they have also crossed to Samajwadi party. So this is from both sides. There has been defection in a way, and Samajwadi party candidate ultimately he is likely to lose
Okay,
chief
let me take this
secretary.
question to Sajjan. Sajjan, let me ask you a very specific question. You know, Samajwadi Party MLA Sangram Yadav, when he saw this resignation of Manoj Kumar Pandey, you know, resigning from the post of party chief, he said that this is a betrayal of PDA politics. We saw what Pallavi Patel said yesterday, that she will not vote for a candidate who doesn't come from the PDA realm. And vis-a-vis someone like Abhay Singh, who's also an MLA with Sapa, saying that he will be guided by Ram Lalla. So there's PDA politics, there is PDA promise, and of course there's also the promise of delivery on Ram Temple. How do you think both of this is going to play out in 2024 vis-a-vis what has happened today, this cross-voting of 7 Sapa MLAs for the BJP?
Yeah, Vasudha, for 2024, the indication is clear. One, already after this consecration of the Ram temple, there is already a huge momentum in the Uttar Pradesh. So therefore, certainly the legislators and the MLAs and the aspirants would be willing to join the ruling party, that is BJP, if they get a chance. This is one. Two, in 2024 mandate in Uttar Pradesh, already there is a reasonable expectation that because BSP, Mayawati, has not joined the India Alliance, therefore she would be holding on to 10%, minimum 10% of the votes, which will not be a part of the opposition alliance, unlike 29, and therefore BJP may increase its tally. But more importantly is that you have to understand that while it is not surprising, the cross voting, because it has been happening for quite some time, what it also indicates that perhaps BJP is not eyeing just the Lok Sabha majority, because it also indicates that BJP is very keen to ensure a majority in Rajya Sabha also, or at least increase its tally, because then it helps the party to take major and tectonic transformative policy decisions, as has been indicated by Prime Minister Modi himself. So it also indicates that perhaps the way party is taking Rajya Sabha that seriously, ensuring that even the extra candidate wins. So it also shows that party is gearing up for the big decision, transformative decision post 2024 also.
Right. Professor Shastri, would you also have something to say on the nature and the kind of candidates that the parties fielded? Because when you look at the opposition candidates, most of them seem to be fielding heavyweights, you know, strong leaders of the party, former leaders of the party, vis-a-vis the BJP, you know, which seems to have given more importance to grassroots leaders. In fact, it is sending many of its Rajya Sabha ministers to fight Lok Sabha elections. Do you think there is some learning for opposition parties there?
I think every party has its own unique strategy to define and determine who it chooses as its nominee. For quite some time now, the BJP has used the Rajya Sabha route as a reward for party workers, for those from its frontal organizations. Across the country, a large number of people from there have been made Rajya Sabha members by the party. This time around, you will notice many of those who are Rajya Sabha members and ministers in government have not been fielded, which indicates that they are likely to be brought in through the Lok Sabha. So there are interesting calculations which the BJP had when putting up candidates. The other point I would like to say is all parties are careful in choice of the last candidate who they are putting up when they feel that they would like to topple the apple cart of the other party. So when you are putting up a candidate for a seat which you know is unlikely to win, but you're hoping that the candidate will win through defections or through any other means, now that factor then plays a role in choosing the candidate. So you are careful in choosing that candidate, keeping in mind whether that candidate can win the type of support that he or she is required to win. The Karnataka example as to the JDS putting up a candidate who is a real estate baron was aimed at ensuring that he would be able to use his influence to be able to get votes on his side. Right. So I think there are calculations which all parties do. Right. But I think the point which is for me at least the saddest point is the Rajya Sabha should represent the states, and we do not see people getting into the Rajya Sabha who are active in state politics and therefore can represent the state at national politics. That unfortunately is not happening. Rajya Sabha is more becoming a place where the different political parties can field their chosen nominees or even favorites in some cases to be there in the upper house.
Right. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us on this broadcast.